In this video, I'm going to take you through the basics of Excel charts. You're going to learn how to insert a chart, how to adjust one, how you can improve your chart, how to add more series to your chart, and how you can create combination charts. So I've been given this data set and I've been told to visualize this. To insert a chart, all I have to do is to highlight this, go to Insert, and click on a chart from here. If I'm not sure which chart to pick, I can click on Recommended Charts, and Excel gives me some proposals. So let's say I want to go with a bar chart. I just have to click on it and press OK. I had highlighted the data set before. So let's say I didn't do that. I'm just somewhere in an empty cell, and I go to Insert, and I insert a column chart. I just get an empty canvas because the data is missing from here. But notice what happens in general when you insert charts. You get this Chart Tools options activated here, and in Excel 2013 and 16, you're given two tabs, a Design and a Format tab. Going back to our empty canvas, if I want to add data to this, I can click on the Design tab and click on Select Data. Or I can right mouse click and go to Select Data. So with Excel charts, just like other objects in Excel, you get many different ways of getting to the same place. So just use the method that you feel most comfortable with. It might look like charts has a lot of options, but they're just repeated. So we go to Select Data. Now I can add the different elements of the chart manually. This part are my series values that I want to add in. But first comes the title, so that's the name. This is where I can manually input it, or I can select it from here. The values are the numbers. Those are these. It added these, it's missing these labels. To give it the labels, you have to click on this side, Edit, and you just have to highlight them, and you get them in. This is the way that you can edit your series and you can add series. You can also remove your series. Now, a fast way to do this is to just click on this Chart Data Range box here and just select this whole thing. And Excel figures out where to plot what. The quickest way of inserting a chart is to highlight this and click Alt F1. This inserts your default chart. How do you change that? You just have to go to Insert and bring up the dialog box for all charts. Just click on this little icon here. I'm going to go to the line chart. Let's say line charts are the charts that I use most often. So I'm going to right mouse click and set as default. So let's just cancel that, delete this. This is already highlighted. All I have to do is press Alt F1 and I get my line chart here. Let's say I've decided to insert a bar chart for this. I'm going to go to Insert and directly select it from here. Your chart is comprised of different chart elements. So this is a chart element. This grid lines are chart elements. The title is an element. To add in more elements or to take away elements, you can control that with this plus sign. So let's say I want to add a data table to this, I can just tick mark it here. To add legend doesn't make sense here, but to add data labels, I can just tick mark this. With these arrows, you can automatically select where you want it. So these are basically the most common options of that element, or the most used options of that element. So I can say if I want inside base, inside end, and then I can go to more options and I get this dialog box pop up. This dialog box here, that's where you have full control over all of the options of that element. Depending on the element that you select, you have different options. So it really pays off that you take some time and you go through the options of the most common chart elements. So example, the columns or the bars, the axis options, and so on. To bring that box up again, you can double click, you get this. You can also use the shortcut key Ctrl+1 and you come to here. You can also right mouse click and format data series and you get here. Once this is activated, it stays activated when you're in your chart. So you can easily move through the different elements and adjust your options. Now let's say my boss sees this report and is like, why is WenCal up here? Switch this around because I want it to look like this data table. I want Fighter to be on top. So that's an easy adjustment that you can make by just changing the option from here. That's under Axis Options, and you can say Categories in reverse order. That switches things around. The most important options for adjusting things of the chart elements is found in the first one. For example, if you want to bring these columns, these bars together, you just have to activate this option here and change the gap width. So instead of 182, I'm going to go to 80%. Now to remove an element, I can remove it by just taking away the tick mark, or I can just press delete directly from here. To adjust formatting of the different elements, you can do that by clicking on the element first and doing it directly from here. So you get the fill options, borders, and so on, or you can do it from up here. Now, if some of these formatting is some things that you use a lot, you can add them to your quick access toolbar like I've done here. To do that, all you have to do is right mouse click and click Add to Quick Access Toolbar. You can also directly format by right mouse clicking on, for example, the series here and changing the fill color and the outline directly from here. Let's say to improve the visualization of this, I decide to make my axis line thicker. That's an option that's with the axis. First, I have to activate the axis options. Then I have to go to the fill and line options. And here I can decide for line, okay, I want a solid line. I want it to be dark. I'm fine with that color. Let's make it thicker. To make this stand out, I can actually directly do that from the Home tab. I can decide to make it bigger and I can make it bold. Now I've been told to add in the budget because it's going to be nice to compare the actual to budget. So I find the budget data, just for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to make a formula here. This is my budget data now. I want to add this to my chart. How can I do that? The easiest, the fastest option is that you click on your chart and you just expand this. That's it. But the very important part is that you've clicked on the right place before you expand this. Had I clicked here and I wanted to expand this, I can't. Okay, it's stuck. So I can expand this, but I can't expand that. I have to click on the chart area and then I can expand this. Another way of doing this is to right mouse click and go to select data. Here you can manually add in more series. To do that, I can say add. Now I'm going to add in budget again. Okay, so 2 times. I can directly type in the name. So let's click budget duplicate. And for the series values, I'm going to select these. Here I get 3 series added. This is this one, then comes number 2 and number 3. To change the order around, you can do it by pushing the series up and down from this view. To delete one, you just highlight it and you click remove. Sometimes it can happen that you add in a series and you don't see it because it's either white or it has no fill, it's invisible. To find it, you can do it by this drop down here. And this drop down is really important because it shows you all the elements in your chart that are active. You can find your series directly by just clicking on it, and then going about to format it as you see fit. Okay, so don't forget about this drop down so you can easily switch between the different chart elements from here directly. So now let's say my boss sees this and is like, well, can you show the budget as another series? Maybe as a line series or maybe just as markers. To do that, you need to right mouse click on your series, actually on any series, and go to Change Series Chart Type. Now Excel takes you directly to the combo view where you can see all your different series here and you can easily change the chart type from this drop-down. This is the advantage of Excel 2013 and 16. In Excel 2010, you actually have to select really the series that you want to change the chart type of before you change the chart type. But in this case, it doesn't matter. If I want to change the chart type of this, I can still click on this and say Change Series Chart Type, and I come to this view. If I don't click on any series and just click somewhere outside and say Change Chart Type, so notice I don't get Change Series Chart Type, I get Change Chart Type. I can change the entire chart type. To change different portions, I have to go to the Combo tab. Now, the advantage of clicking on a series first is that you directly go there when you select this option. So now for budget, I'm going to change it to a line with markers. I'm going to say OK. For this line series, I'm actually going to say I don't want the line, I just want the markers. The marker options are right here. Right here, I can say I want to use a built-in. Let's use a line. We can increase it. We can change the fill to the fill color that we want. We can take away the border of the markers. Now we can go about improving on this chart. We can add data labels to this. And then from the options, we can decide where we want them. Now in this case, it doesn't make sense to put them outside because they're kind of going to overlap with our budget. So we could do inside base. We can change the color to white. And for these ones, we're going to add the data labels and we're going to actually put them on top. Two elements are missing from this chart to make it more readable. One is the chart title and the other is the legend here. Now I can go directly here and say show the legend on top and I can type in a chart title. That could be sales actual versus budget. And the legend here, I want this to be actual and budget. This is taken from my series name. So all I have to do is change this to actual. So now my boss should be happy with this visualization. So this was the basics of Excel charts. If you want to dig deeper in charts, I have a lot of videos on this YouTube channel. I also have a lot of posts on my website, so make sure you check those out. If you want to dig even deeper, I have a course on this, an online course that's over 7 hours long that includes templates of different types of charts that are used in the business world, so mainly in corporate reports. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put the link to it in the descriptions below. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates when new videos come out.